って先生が言ってた。
Anime. A style of animation originating in Japan that is characterized by stark, colorful graphics depicting vibrant character and action-filled plot, often with fantastic and futuristic themes. I don't know why I'm explaining this. Have you wondered what happened if an anime followed a party that has already killed the Demon Lord? Well, you get something like, who killed the hero? That's the wrong one. Frieren Beyond Journey's End. The manga that I've been waiting to be adapted is finally here. The series tells us a story about the hero party consists of 4 people, reminiscing about their 10-year journey and thinking about the good old times, also promising themselves that they will see the meteor shower, which occur every 50 years. But Frieren is an elf. Having lived over thousands of years, time flies different for her. Months could feel mere days, years could feel only couple weeks. Frieren came back 50 years to where Hime lived, but he looked different. Finally, the hero party reunited to go on another adventure to see the meteor shower for the last time. Hime died, and Frieren stood there, emotionless, thinking about it was just a mere 10 years. Silence filled the air, and it finally hit for Frieren.
10年一緒に旅しただけだし、なんでもっと知ろうと思わなかったんだろう。頭撫でんなよ。
Such a great directed scene, and then she fucked up. 20 years later, Frieren met up with Haiter, and we met Fern. Fern? Then Haiter died. Sorry, I'm too lazy to do the same thing for Haiter. We're going on another adventure! Woo! The point of this new journey is to make Frieren understand how humans function and live. What emotion do they feel, because most of the time Frieren just doozed off in the forest having no interaction with humans. Of course that's going to be hard to adapt, but bit by bit, from past journeys learning from Himmel and the other party members' ways of behaving and thinking, Frieren tries to change. But anyways, Frieren and Fern start the adventure to heaven and doing some side quests. Frieren struggled to wake up every day, and the real Dami Mommy is Fern. I mean, look at those long, girthy staff. Then we get a cool little fight explaining a bit more about the evolution of magic in the past years. This show really does everything right. The world building that Frieren has to evolve to, the lovable cast, the magic system, animation, I'll talk about that soon, and the character development. The pacing really is wonders. It could have been all over the place because the amount of time skips that the show had, but they maintain it really well. We get to see the character growth inside and from the outside. Also the progress every episode, there's a map for how much they've traveled, so that's cool. Along the way we found Stark, or Stark. At first he was thought out to be this brave warrior that scares away the dragon from the village, but truly he was a scaredy cat of a warrior. I mean, there's no way he can beat the dragon. Oh, okay. Also, Aizen said he was scared of Stark. Every episode has been really good so far. The character dynamic, Fern always giving Stark the side eye, Frieren just collecting useless, sometimes useful grimoires, and just being an absolute child. As time moves on, the hero's party status started to lose out, but Frieren will always have the hero party and Himmel lessons in the back of her head. Glimpse of the hero party's journey little by little. We see that Frieren actually really cares about Himmel. All of her life was just to hide this big amounts of mana, because she was taught to do that to fool the demons. But those 10 years were probably the most fun that Frieren had, and maybe she always sleeps because she wants to dream about the adventure that the hero party did once again. We found some demons. Demon Slayer arc. Demon slaying arc, or what Turtle calls it, racism arc. Yay! Demons. We straight away see why she has no hesitation to kill demons. Demons are foul creatures. They may look the same as humans, but that's another mechanism to deceive. Words are just a mean to deceive. They don't have the concept of family, and they're arrogant. Frieren learned this from Flem to hide her mana from demons, because in a fight, demons will only look at your mana. Frieren has trained to conceal her mana for thousands of years. That's why it's perfect. Demons will never look at humans as equals, but under Frieren's training and trust, everything comes to play. The confidence that the demon had backfire, also giving one of the most coldest moments. And then we packed our bags and leave. Bye bye. Amidst the raging snow and in a little shack, we found Craft. It's interesting to see two elves interacting because they haven't seen an elf in 500 years and how different their lives are. Craft don't know who Frieren is and Frieren doesn't know who Craft is. There's still so much to learn about this world. 6 months has passed, Frieren and Craft exchanging things that they care about or what they believe, and they parted ways. Then we made Zion, but that's for another time. I think there's nothing else really to talk about, guys. What the fuck? I already made a video talking about the production before the show aired too. You can watch it so I can get watch time. Let's get the bad things out of the way. There's only one really, and that is the schedule. I'm not saying it's bad. Of course, 2 years and a bit is not really enough to produce 28 mostly great quality episodes. Episode 13 was the only example of cracks being showed. Even the previous outsourced episodes, it still contained some really good directing and storyboarding. This one you can see the character design doesn't really look the same. And yes, the second core is a bit concerning, but I know the staff will probably pull it off. That's it. Now the sauce. Madhouse hasn't really been on the map for a while, maybe some notable shows here and there, but this is something different. The backgrounds, the fights, compositing, character designs, everything is perfect. Series director Keiichiro Sato and Fukushi really put their connections and made this show a masterpiece. Sato declined shows that Fukushi pitched for him because it was too bombastic and it wasn't really to his taste, but for Frieren, that was the sweet spot. The team really captures how beautiful the scenery looks and feel. The painted background, art direction, and the compositing really get that starry night and afternoon breeze. To pull off this meticulous and technical aspects of a show that really shines the brightest is what thrives the people behind the scenes to make these shows. Nowadays, animators are just abused to the point that they can't express their talent, but Fukushi's team has their own motives. You can take any of their previous shows, how ambitious and stylistic their project is. And the good thing about having a young director leading the project is that they're not afraid to give the reins to his close friends and peers. I'll say it again, the pacing is perfect. Adapting this type of manga where time and growth is one of the most important aspects is pretty hard to nail, but the team did it. They display growth so well. The most obvious example is Fern. Her physical growth from small Fern slowly being the mommy of the anime. Should stop saying that. The character design too is quite simple. There's barely any line work, but it still pops. And Reiko Nagasawa giving very good corrections in some pivotal moments. Toru Iwasawa also supervising and correcting most of the action scenes. The highlight of the first core being episode 6 and episode 9. Episode 6 directed and storyboarded by Toru Iwasawa. Really good action episode. Although the whole episode he wasn't really trying to do something out there beside the fight, but they put quite a bit of resources in this episode, maintaining a level of consistency in the character acting. Some can be subtle and some can be really good, also giving animators enough time to polish their works so that the animation director don't need to correct some mistakes, but some can pitch in very good correction. The main boom boom pow skibbity toilet. If I say skibbity toilet again, I'm going to kill my action segment. The confrontation between Stark and the dragon, the sense of scale of the fight really captures the weight of Stark clubbing away this 50-foot, I don't know, dragon thing. The hair animation by Yoshihara is so good. Of course, all these animators are practitioners at big scale fights like Yen Yen, Shingo Yamashita, Yutaka Nakamura, all of them. Nakamura's scene, the sense of weight is fabulous. The classic Yutapon hair fabric animation with his shading, and of course the background animation, I don't know how long that took. Finishing it off with Tanaka effects and impact. But as an episode, Koki Fujimoto's work is the best in Frieren. Such a talented animator that was in the Seshimo team as the highlight animator for JJK and Chainsaw Man, but he left to join Frieren's team. His debut really knocked it out of the park. The storyboards are amazing. His love for fabric and background animation displays it in the episode. Surrounding him with very talented people really gets to display his full potential. He also contributed some animation, understanding the environment, making very dynamic scenes, leading to a very captivating action spectacle. The attention to detail too, fights correlating between each other, and the impact that the fight had, the weighty feel on both Stark and Leany wielding the axe, the confidence that Fern had fighting the demons, and again the environmental advantages that Fujimoto uses. Also the armor scene was so beautiful, the shiny armor mixed with this bright yellow shading. I don't know how it mixed very well. Frieren's first core as a whole, there's going to be trial and error. The schedule and mixed with a packed schedule that some of the staff have, it's going to be difficult for core 2. But gaining access to some of the most well-renowned people on their own accord, you can have something very subtle and sometimes bombastic like Frieren. It's not trying to do something crazy, but it's still just at that perfect level of satisfaction. It's trying to showcase time and aging, to enjoy the time that you had with people that you care so much that at the end of the journey, you will remember and not regret the adventures that you enjoyed so much. for just a mere 10 years.